IT giant Infosys was famously founded back in the 1980s by a small group of co-founders with big ideas and not so big funding. Now, the last of the founders, still with the company, Chris Gopalakrishnan, has retired, and today the IT giant held a farewell to the founding team. It's over to the Infosys headquarters.
Well, folks, first of all, thank you very much to every one of you for being here. This is somewhat unique. We are 6 people. I wish the 7th one was here. Mr. Ashok Arora, he is in cold Chicago. And we certainly miss him. Before you people start asking questions, I thought I would just say 1 or 2 sentences and then leave the floor to you people, for wiser people to answer your difficult questions. To me, this journey has been an experiment to assert my belief that the only way societies can solve the problem of poverty is through creation of jobs with good income. It was an experiment about my belief in compassionate capitalism. It was an experiment about my belief in differentiation through innovation. I am very, very grateful to my colleagues assembled here, as well as 160,000 employees of Infosys, for giving me a very exhilarating experience in this journey, and I thank them. I will stop here and then now please go ahead.
Mr. Murthy, may I?
Yeah.
So when you look back at your journey at Infosys, when you said it was an experiment, I know there must have been many moments of ups and downs, but for you personally, what would you say has been the highest point in this journey and the lowest point?
Certainly, I think sitting on a high stool in front of scorching lights at NASDAQ and being the first Indian company to be listed on an American exchange, I borrowed the word from Neil Armstrong and said, it's a small step for NASDAQ, but a giant leap for the Indian software industry. I think that was the high point. I don't know if there has been any low point, because I look at things in a very positive way.
Hi, this is Rukmini from the Mobile team. Chris, a question to you. You've spent so many years at Infosys now. Just if you can sum up what your journey has been at Infosys, and also special moments that perhaps you spent with each of the founder, even if you can just give us one instant that is so very memorable to you. Thank you.
You have to switch off. To me, there are lots and lots of memorable moments, but one that probably stands out for me is when I took over as CEO. We started decelerating in growth. And I remember a lot of questions were asked about whether it's that the end of the growth story for the software industry. And in 2011, we were able to, financial year 2011, we were able to get back to 26% growth. This proved that there is growth at Infosys, there is resilience. This is an industry that can withstand shocks. And hence, I'm actually, the learning from that is the future is bright for Infosys, for this industry. The industry is today 3 million plus people, and we have the resilience, we have the innovation, we have the creativity, we have the youth, we have that the large pool of people will make sure that the industry will continue to grow over the next several years. Which companies, etc., of course, the future will tell, but clearly, that demonstrated that there is growth in this industry, there is resilience in this industry. Every company went through a downturn at that point. About the founders, what I think stands out is we came from similar background, software engineers, etc. But over time we developed unique specializations. We started focusing on different things and giving space for everybody else. It's really unique that the founding team has been together, 6 of us are here today, for so long. At least in my case, more than half my life, 35 years of my life, I'm on each one of these people actually. So it's lots and lots of moments of fun, joy. Most of the memories are actually very, very pleasant memories.
How do you describe your relationship with Mr. Murthy, working and otherwise?
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
It's really very strange. Actually, I decided to visit one of my colleagues who's in hospital today, and both Sidhu and Murthy turned up at the same time. We didn't plan. I didn't call them. They just turned up at the same time at the same place. I was quite surprised. Today, it happened today.
I mean, it's a question really to all of you, but maybe Nandan, I'll ask you first. When the 7 of you got together and did this mad, unbelievable enterprise all those years ago, you would never have expected for it to have grown just quite so big. How has this success changed you as people? How are you different from those young software engineers that you were all those years ago?
Well, actually, I think the change is much less than you think, because I think everybody is the same as what we were in 1981. But I think, as Murthy mentioned, I think this was more than just what started the company. I think it was about creating a new standard for middle-class people to become entrepreneurs, first-generation entrepreneurs. It was about creating a global brand. It was about sharing wealth with employees. It was about practicing global standards of corporate governance and quality, about creating a meritocracy. So the ideals in forming Infosys were more than just setting up a company. And I think that was the biggest contribution that happened, that it became a trailblazer on all these various dimensions. And I think that's what really kept us going and kept us excited about what we're doing. That's the people I'm thinking of.
A few grey hairs, of course.
Yeah, or less.
Chris, would it be correct to say that your favorite phrase while at Infosys over the last 6 years is cautious optimism?
Actually, if you ask each one, what some of the favorite phrases, mine is definitely, I'm always cautious.
That's the only answer we got to every question. So
Thank you.
Second question is, a career with Infosys, I think, sets the stage for a career in politics, because you're a well-known company and you've seen two precedents before you. So are you getting into politics, or would you, so is it politics, or what would you be doing after this?
In my case, it's, at least at this point, no political ambitions at all. I don't think I'm cut out for politics. But definitely, there are two things I'm looking at. One is in the area of research and education and research. As you know, I'm working with the Ministry of Science to set up the Center for Brain Research. And hopefully, if it works, we'll try and expand it to create other research facilities. The second area is in the area of entrepreneurship and startups. the first startup village is in Cochin. And last week I was there when the startup village in Vizag was inaugurated by the Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu. So that's the second startup village that's coming up. So that's the second area where I would like to contribute. And those are the two things.
The Vizag, the startup city, or like you did Kochi?
So my investment is into the infrastructure. I'm not, investing into any startup at this point. Maybe in future I will look at it, but my goal is to create that entrepreneurial ecosystem, look at the infrastructure if there is a need, and mentoring. Mentoring the incubator.
Ayushman here. So with all the founders gone now, what are the, how do you see Infosys, going forward, and what are the one or two best practices that you would like Infosys to carry on?
Shivu?
So, I've said this many times before. These set of founders who are sitting here are probably some of the best professionals I have seen in my life. While we have been founders at one level, I think all of us have operated with the highest standards of professionalism when we were within the organization. So with that, if you look at it in that framework, this transition is no different than any other transition because it is from one set of professionals to another set of professionals. So I see this transition as any other transition which will happen in any other organization. So that is the answer to your first question. This is an organization with very strong values and beliefs. It has a very strong vision, very strong values, very strong belief in corporate governance, always believed in excellence in execution, always believed in speed and innovation. So those are all things which are very dear to this organization, and I hope that they will continue to be preserved.
Mr. Murthy, I just want to know, looking back, do you have any regrets? Anything that you wanted certain things to happen which didn't happen?
No, I have no regrets at all. Life every day is one of doing certain things well and not doing certain things well. And you take it. At the end of the day, it is the sum total of all the experiences that you have had every day. So therefore, no, I have no regrets at all.
Chris, question to you. You saw huge transitions happen in the company, be it the return of Mr. Murthy or bringing an outsider to be the next CEO of the company. How challenging were these decisions, and also how do you describe your role throughout these difficult decision-making process that the board had to undergo?
First of all, we have to step down, an outsider has to come. That's a given. So an outsider coming has always been in the cards, and it had to happen at some point in time. 33 years back, we decided that we will not bring our families, and we will continue to act as professionals and transition at a certain point of time. So in that sense, this is, as Shivu said, transition from one set of professionals to another set of professionals. So the board, of course, is owning the process, and where they requested our support, help, advice, we have provided those. I would leave it at that because it's the nomination committee which owns the process of identifying the people, and then they would bring in expertise as and when required. I feel we are lucky to get Vishal Sikka as the CEO. And he took over as CEO from August 1st, and the transition has been very smooth.
No, I just want to invoke the words of George Washington. And he said, the ideal democracy is one where transition of power happens with grace, courtesy, and civility. Frankly, I think this is one such thing. Therefore, I think we are all very, very proud of whatever is happening.
Mr. Murthy, a lot has been said about the return that happened of yours into the company. There have been people who have been talking about it, that it was the best move that Infosys could have done, and a lot of them said that it was a bad move. Personally, when coming back to the company, did you have second thoughts at all, or has there been any moment of regret?
No, I thought I just said I have no moments of regret, number one. Number two, I am a very quick decision maker. I assemble as much facts I can within a certain period of time, take my decision. So therefore, having looked at all those, I took the decision and I'm very happy about it. I have absolutely no regrets.
Mr. Murthy, Vishal here from VC Circle. When you gave your employees stock options in the early days, today you see so many entrepreneurs coming out of Infosys. There's so many small companies that are doing very well. Did you at that point of time think that from this company there will emerge so many startups? And would you like that culture to continue?
I think Raghavan is the best person to answer that. He was the first first director in charge of HR, so let him do that.
Will we expect that some of these will turn out to be good entrepreneurs? Once you have good experience in Infosys and then the money that you can invest, and once you build that spirit of enterprise, so in the company which has the organization and all that, we will expect that people will go out and start new companies.
We want to enunciate further on this. Did you build a culture from inside? Setting up a lab, you've set up labs in the past, I remember.
I think I will maybe Dinesh should answer the question because a lot of work has been done.
Yeah.
In terms of research and labs and all that, when we look at the quality itself as one of the key things that we need to deliver to our clients, so we have been doing a lot of things related to quality research. So that is one area where a lot of books have been published on our process and all that. Our set labs is one of the key things that we developed, which is the software engineering technology lab, through which a lot of products and technology products have also evolved. So I think a lot of emphasis has been given to internal entrepreneurship, and people develop their entrepreneurship as they go. But to add to what Chris and Shibu had said, one of the dreams that we all had, which I'm sure all of us articulated, was what Abraham Lincoln said about America. He said, American democracy is for the people, by the people, of the people. And we said, Infosys is for the professionals, by the professionals, of the professionals. So that summarizes in a way the philosophy that we had in forming Infosys and where we are today.
And then this question is for you. When you left Infosys, it was at a high, the company was at its peak. The last few years, it's taken a fair bit of beating by way of performance, image certainly. As a insider stroke outsider, how did you see this change in perception around Infosys and for some of the decisions that were also taken?
No, I think Infosys has done very well, and I think the people here have done an extraordinary job. And I think I'm very happy with what's been happening. And I think the fact that we're sitting here today, where we're transitioning more professionals, as Shivu said. I think that testimony to the ideals and values that we believe in. So I think it's a very, very important thing. Not many people voluntarily give up their lives. So I think the fact that we're doing that, the fact that we are transitioning in a graceful manner, the fact that we have new leadership and the company will continue with new leadership, with the founders stepping back, I think is a very, very important step to it.
We'll take one last question.
Mr. Murthy, just want to know, in case if someone were to build another Infosys, what advice would you give that entrepreneur?
Well, I would request you to kindly listen to my speech, and that may be useful. That's later.
Last question. Sarah? Yeah. Mr. Murthy, you spoke about compassion and capitalism. I'm just wondering, you've done a fantastic job as an individual company. Absolutely nobody would disagree with that. As a country, you said entrepreneurship is the way, etc. I've been looking at some World Bank data, and India still remains one of the poorest countries in the world. I don't think our ranking has improved very much in the last several decades. I think we're still on the 120th, 130th poorest country in the world. Is there something that, I mean, we're sitting in a room with several billionaires in one of the poorest countries in the world. Where do you see? Is there something going wrong?
You know, I think that's a very deep and well thought out question, and that deserves probably half an hour of my answer. I will certainly take your wonderful question and make it the theme of one of my speeches. I will be giving several of them. Thanks.
Your next honorary doctorate.
See, I just want to also look at the positive side. From 1991 onwards till now, our per capita income has tripled, 600 to 1800, maybe it's not close to 2,000. So these happen, and then it just like a hockey stick actually. It takes a little bit more time to get started and it accelerates. I think it will happen. I'm optimistic about the future.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yes, thank you. Nandan wanted to say.
Yeah, Nandan wants to say something. Let him have the last word.
I think we obviously need entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs create jobs, entrepreneurs create innovation, entrepreneurs create new products, new services. And entrepreneurship does create disproportionate wealth. So that is a reality. So I think more than questioning that, the question is, has that wealth been made legally and ethically without flouting rules and all that? I think Infosys has demonstrated legal and ethical creation of wealth. This is not done by crony capitalism or by resource appropriation, but done in a proper way. The second thing is, what do people do with that wealth? And I think that again the founders are demonstrated through the philanthropy that the wealth will be used in a way that helps society. I think that's the way to look at the question.